Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2. Incubated now, having a couple of zealots. I am trying to warp in a nexus right here. I did not notice that there was in fact a warp prism sitting up there, and that warp prism now generating pylon power, quickly warping in a lot of units. I'm quickly going to cancel that nexus and try to move these units back. Zealots in fact have charge, so charge being able to close in on that ground much more effectively than his units could. I lose one zealot in this whole entire confrontation, perhaps two, but he's going to go ahead and lose all of his zealots and that warp prism. So I am going to be able to take down this natural expansion. Over here, taking a look at the harvester count, 37 to 28. He is definitely much stronger than me and will be able to out macro me very shortly. Warp gates now being warped in as well. A lot of units now also getting more observers in place and also getting that level 1 upgrades for himself, as he realizes that the reason why he's losing a lot of these fights is in fact because of those upgrades. Observers still moving across that map. I only take this high ground mineral expansion. I have not taken the low ground one yet. That's my natural outside my base. Couple zealots still sitting out on that front hand side. More pylons being warped in. He's taking a look at the armies. He is now sitting on a much larger army than I am, 2650 compared to my 1725. I'm sitting at 53 over 82 food. Things are definitely not looking good for me at this stage in the game. Also getting some more warp gates, so he's going to be able to really out macro me. Taking a look at this, he has in fact 11 gateways, getting 12 and 13. So he will in fact be able to warp in a lot of these units whenever he wants. Nexus now coming into play. I have a single Colossus, and that Colossus with 27 damage and also a range of, I believe, range of 6 right now. I'm upgrading to that range of 9. So I will be able to fight very effectively with those Colossus. And I have not seen that many Stalkers yet, so those Colossus will in fact be very weak. Even the Stalkers, although even with their bonus damage against armored, will not be able to deal that much damage, as they need to get within range first. Taking a look, yeah, once again, he's sitting on 13 warp gates. That is a very large number of warp gates indeed. Will be able to overrun me if he gets the economy also to back it up, and with what so many additional expansions out here, it looks like he will be able to go ahead and just overrun my base. Now trying to mass up and once again a larger army. Taking a look at the army counts. Our army counts are 2775 for him, 2625 for me. I have more robotics facility currently underway, trying to warp in more units. Only operating off of 6 gateways, and here comes this fight. And those Stalkers trying to do a little bit of a hit and run, using those force fields in order to try to stop that retreat, and also having charge on those Zealots, really making it so that I can take down a lot of his army. Zealots now trying to come back in as well. Zealots coming into this base. One Zealot getting taken down, trying to take down this Photon Cannon. Photon Cannon down to 77 hit points. Colossi will be able to just wipe the floor with him, as that Colossi just takes some lasers in the face. More units being warped in by Incubated, so Incubated just trying to able to outmass me so quickly. I destroy an army, and within moments, all of those units are quickly replaced. He is now dealing 16 damage an attack with those phase disruptors, and Zealots quickly coming in, closing up that ground very quickly. Now trying to use that Guardian Shield in order to prevent some of the damage, using those Force Shields as well to try to push back more of those Stalkers. Do not want to chase him, as I'm thinking that there may be some gateways in this position. Zealots now warping in as well. 3 Colossi just dealing as much damage as possible, trying to come in, using those Guardian Shields. And now we have a single Immortal as well. I need to take down that Immortal, as that Immortal will be able to focus down my Colossi very easily. Stalkers continue to try to force in, trying to get in position, but these Colossus are just way too strong for this fight to continue. As units even warp in, they're quickly getting destroyed, taking down that pylon. So I was hoping to be able to take it down before the warp-in completed. 4 units being warped in here, and taking a look at the income, he has 56 to my 40, so he is still out-mining me, but I am in fact dealing a lot of damage by taking down a lot of these units. Stalkers continue to move throughout the fight. Disruptors or sentries trying to continue to push back, and now more Zealots once again joining in on that fray. If I can take down these warp gates, I will be able to at least stop the constant flow of reinforcements that are coming in. He can currently warp in 8 more Stalkers if he feels the need to, quickly taking down that Immortal. And this with single Colossi, I'm going to go ahead and micro him back in order so that that single Colossi can regenerate some shields. I want him to regenerate shields as quickly as possible, but Zealots now coming in from that backhand side, so that he has that blood for that single Colossi. Colossi getting taken down, so 1/3 of this Colossi threat has been encountered. Now 12 kills and 15 kills on each of those Colossi. So once again, force field forcing those units to really just walk back around even more as I finish off this whole entire attack. And now Incubated, just having a very, very difficult time, needs to start mining up as quickly as possible. Taking a look at the income once again, 1200 versus 800. His 42 harvesters versus my 40. I am now dropping down a secondary nexus over here in order to just gather some additional minerals, and perhaps if he has any tricks up his sleeve, take it down. Trying to take down these pylons. If I can take down these pylons, I can at least stall the whole entire all these warp gates from functioning. And now a lot of these warp gates have been taken offline, so 5 of these 8 warp gates taken down. More Zealots trying to warp in, still not working all too well for him. Thermal Lances, I believe I'm getting the level 3 upgrade on these weapons now. Yeah, finally getting the level 3 upgrade. I'm sitting on 1165 minerals as I consistently try to warp in more and more units. Single Colossi, 2 Colossi in this base. I thought I had more Colossi being built, but it looks like I no longer had any more Colossi being built. Just a couple of these units. I'm now trying to take down some of these pylons. If I can take down these pylons, I know that they're no longer going to be operational, and I will indeed have a strong advantage in this fight. No real reason why I'm trying to take down these assimilators. I should probably try to move on, but I'm worried about a warp prism flying over and then powering all these buildings, and then him being able to unlock a very, very large number of reinforcements very, very easily and very, very shortly. Zealots have that level 2 upgrade, and taking a look over here at the Colossi. Colossi have that level 2 upgrade, as I stated earlier. Units now moving back out, want to take down these last couple of warp gates that still have any additional hit points, wanting to make sure that he did not go up to that high ground. And it was as soon as I see that he did not go up to that high ground, I realized that his expansions are all across the map. Observers now moving out once again. I have a large number of Zealots sitting in my base, sitting on 1500 minerals, and I realized that based upon how many gateways that he was running off of, I should be running off of many more gateways as well. I am also concerned about air at this stage in the game, realizing that the majority or the main damage from my whole entire army has been these Colossi. I need to get some Void Rays in order to counteract any Void Rays that he may be producing, or any carriers that he may be producing. I am getting the level 1 weapons upgrade on the air attack at the Cybernetics Core, so in order to make sure I have a little bit of an even fight on this particular battle. Taking down the rest of these buildings over here to take down this final Cybernetics Core and take down this assimilator. Coming back over here, we have a very large number of gateways. 5 gateways, all producing Void Rays using that Chrono Boost, trying to produce those units as quickly as possible. These main minerals, or these high yield minerals, looks like they've been mined out. I'm now sending observers all around the map in order to try to do some scouting. We have a probe sitting at this Zelnaga watchtower and an observer sitting up here. I'm going to go ahead and run up to this Zelnaga watchtower, perhaps find something, quickly take down that pylon and that probe, and gonna go ahead and continue to push off into this position. Not many probes over here now. Taking a look, not very much that he can mine out. Gonna go ahead and move in with these Colossi. Colossi now with that level 3 attack, 29 times 2. These Zealots also doing a 22 damage per attack as well. And in comes that very, very large army of Void Rays. I'm trying to counteract this army with these Stalkers, realizing that Stalkers are probably my best choice, and also producing some Void Rays of my own. Taking a look, he does not have any additional he does not have any additional weapons upgrade on those units, so I will be able to get bit of an advantage. Trying to move away from these units, trying to make it so that he has to refocus in that energy. Now Void Rays moving out. And trying to push in onto this main base. If I can take that main base, I know I will definitely have a little bit of an advantage. And now trying to take down some of these buildings. Stay tuned for part 3 and the conclusion of this replay between Incubated and me here on Kulas Ravine.